What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the WichitaPromo podcast with your host, EKM. I had to pull back up with another special guest. You should already know who this is for real.
They and Kinzie on platforms.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, so we back.
Oh God.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all?
Man, so we was talking a little off camera about tattoos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. What part are we gonna get into about the tattoos?
Let's talk about some of the stuff you wanted to do with like the community, like
Okay.
the birthday parties first
Okay.
off.
Okay. Birthday parties. I mentioned that one. I mentioned that one on the other podcast episode
Yeah.
too a little bit. So one of the main services I want to add here in a little bit once all these events and things calm down is kids' birthday parties, kind of how you have, your face painters, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Come out and do stencil tattoos on kids. And it kind of all started from my best friend and her daughter. She would bring her daughter to tattoos appointments, and her daughter would just want me to put like the stencils on her arm so
Yeah.
she could look like her mom. And then she would just sit there and say she had tattoos. So that kind of like formed a whole idea off of that. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
that could be like a whole service. We come to your kid's birthday party and just, me and
Yeah.
my sister, she'll help me out. I'll do the stencils, and then they can run around and say they got tattoos for a couple of days, and then they'll wash off.
Yeah, that's
So
fire. I can see that being real fun for kids for sure.
I
I
can
see
see it.
my sister, shout out my sister, right? She got 5 kids and she's super tatted. I can see them fucking with that for sure. Go get tatted like your mama.
See,
That's
like
hard.
for me, like, and it brings back a memory of being a band kid, and we would
Yeah.
go perform at the state fair, and then like we would get like a little bit of time to just mess around and shit.
Yeah.
And so they had like the airbrush tattoos or like henna. Henna was a
Yeah,
big one
yeah,
because I
yeah.
would get like my whole arm done
Yeah.
and go home, and my foster mom would be like, "Whoa!" Like I don't think she ever seen my whole arm done, but she seen like my hand and my fingers all the way up to here one time.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh my goodness!" Like, I was always obsessed with like drawing on myself or like henna and just shit like that.
Yeah.
So like when we would go to things like that, and they had whether it was the airbrush or any of those things, I always thought
Yeah.
that shit was cool. So for me, I'm like me seeing her want that while she was here. I'm like, oh, what if we did like birthday party services?
Yeah.
Your kids can get stencil tattoos, and I'll just make like a flash sheet like I do for the events. That shit, it would be so easy. And for me, like, I feel like that's just like something fun to do.
Yeah.
Like that shit's just entertaining. Like it's wholesome. Like especially kids who have tatted ass parents.
Yeah.
Like I know damn well my kid will probably want stencil tattoos, and I'm okay with that because I'm freaking covered. So
Yeah.
like seeing my friend, she's trying to get her arm covered, and like her daughter wants, hey, let me get my arm covered too, so she can have a full sleeve looking like her mom.
Yeah.
Every time she comes over now, I got this little mystery bucket of tattoos. One of the first things we do when she gets here, every single time, she want a whole little arm sleeve like her mom, and she'll
Yeah.
just pick out the most random ones. Last time she had like Hello Kitty and a snake and a tree and just a bunch of random shit she'll put on her. And then she'll just walk around, look, I look like mommy. Mama, look. And just
Yeah.
whole day, whole time while she's here. So that definitely started off with that. But then like I told you more on like the personal side of things. Like that's just me doing something to make me happy.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
kids, I have a soft spot for kids. So that's just like one of those things. But more on
Yeah.
like on a personal level, and with for me like some real important shit is like I call them like self-care.
Yeah.
Self-care
Yeah.
tattoos. So whether it's like you have uh like self-harm cover-ups or like gang tattoos
Yeah.
or what was the other one I mentioned? Self-harm cover-ups, gang tattoos, honestly like any scars, whether you got like burn marks, as long as like they're
Yeah.
safely to be like if I can safely cover them, I'll do it no issue. And that's some shit like I really want to do cuz I know some people like I got friends. They
Yeah.
got gang tattoos on them. They've been out of that, and like they don't want to show that shit.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
want no association with it. And so like for me, it's real important to get that covered because like it's on your body. You have to see that every day. Other people see that, and so if you're trying to hide that, like you're you're hiding yourself in a way.
Yeah.
And so that's why like for me, like I got cover-ups I want to do.
Yeah.
And like how that's going to change my mindset, like not having this certain thing on me or that certain thing, and like replacing it with like a piece of art. That's important to me. If we can take a self-harm cover-up, and let's say, okay, this is what you did in the past. Nobody knows what made you do that.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
made you, whether it was what made you feel the need to do that, or whether you just did it, or whether someone else did it to
Yeah.
you, or however those scars came about. Like getting that hidden, and so you can feel confident about it. Like mine, I got a big ass piece right here that's covering mine, and then
Yeah.
another one on my arm. Like those hide like something from my past.
Yeah.
That for
Yeah.
me is like I felt like I had no other options in those ways. That's not me anymore. I don't do that. Like
Yeah.
now I tattoo myself, and like we was talking about, like you're talking about how
Yeah, that
what
pain.
was it?
I
You're
don't
like you
understand how you do that.
yeah, like
Inflicting
you
pain on yourself.
yeah.
I would like hesitate. That's
See,
crazy.
and like I explained to him that I had already kind of experienced like inflicting pain on
Yeah.
myself. And so like now it's not inflicting pain in a bad way. I'm not
Right.
using
Right.
that in an
Yeah.
unhealthy way. I'm putting art on my body now. And so like that's why there's really no hesitation. Like I've already done it, so it's not hard for me to do.
Yeah.
But now it's in a positive way. Like I just did my whole knee. So like now I have this beautiful flower piece around my knee, and I did that myself.
Yeah.
And so like for me that's not only healing, but it's growing, but it it's already something I've had to go through.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, it's not bad anymore. You're putting art on you. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
it's not a bad feeling anymore. So then I get like excited to tattoo myself sometimes. I really do.
Yeah.
I was so excited to finish it. I won't lie, the inside part, like right up in here, right where your fold is, oh my gosh, that hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt. That hurt. But like seeing it all finished and then like knowing what else I have planned for it, like that shit excites me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
cause I think like tattoos are art. Tattoos are definitely art. And so like seeing like a new piece is like seeing new art on you.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
get to go around walking around with that all the time.
Yeah.
Like this big old flower arm I'm about to do, this flower sleeve we about to cover up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an art piece for sure. I told you about Rico. Shout out Rico Inks on
Yeah.
Instagram, by the way. Go tap in with him too. But I let him do my face tattoos. He finished my finger tattoos. He did my hand. Uh, and we're just collaborating. Me and
Yeah.
him are collaborating on a lot of things. And so like for me, I told him, I said, I want you to cover this arm.
Yeah.
Cause I got this colorful flower shit on here, and don't get me wrong, like I love it and I helped design it and everything, but I just don't feel like it's me.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it doesn't go with what I want, and I feel like I can add to it and make it more of what I want for it.
Yeah.
And so for me, like I told you, you're going to still be able to see the old tattoo through the new tattoo, but it tells a story because I still like the color and I still like the meaning behind it, but it needs more to it to feel
Yeah.
with what I want. And so that's what we're doing. And I fully trust his head. He's just as creative as I am. I told you, he's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
he's one of those people that like doesn't only do tattoos just to do tattoos. Like he loves art. He'll sit here, draw. We'll talk about ideas,
Yeah.
going through just like I'm sitting here scrolling on Pinterest for an hour. I'm like, Rico, look at all these ideas I just found. And we're sitting
Yeah.
up building freaking pieces. Or about how Autumn's husband, he's like, hey, I want this whole arm done. And within 10 minutes, I just, with some Sharpies, just drew up a whole design for his whole arm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's the real art of
That's hard.
tattooing.
I don't know that
Like
I'm not experienced in that shit, but I don't know nobody that I've never seen like two tattoo artists collab on a tattoo. That's dope.
I've seen a couple,
That's super
and
dope.
I've heard about a couple doing them. I've always wanted to do them. And so
Yeah.
like for me and Rico are both pretty new to this.
Yeah.
And so we're both the underdogs, but we're both teaming up to like do some pretty fucking cool things. Like we're not only working on tattoos.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
have a lot of business mindset ways that we think alike, but he also thinks about things differently than I do. And so teaming up with that, having someone who has like the same goals as you, but thinking about it in a different way,
Yeah.
it's been working out. Like we're doing Vaughn's chest piece. That's
Yeah.
fully like it's gonna be a full combination of me and Rico figuring out what the fuck to do for this chest piece.
Yeah.
Like it's
That's
fully
fire.
freestyle. We have like no plan for it. It's fully freestyle, just whatever the fuck we feel like doing, really. As
Yeah.
long as it's spooky. It like spooky horror characters. But like that's the type of shit I love about
Yeah.
being in this industry. Like there's people who genuinely love art and just want to be creative.
Yeah.
And like or like my wall. Like
Yeah.
who just has
Yeah.
like a wall just full of stencils just chilling in their house? Like I know a couple artists do. But like to have like my logo like that and then like all of my art surrounding it, like for me that's showcasing art.
Yeah.
Like it's not just about the tattoos, but it's like look at all these different art pieces, all these different people. I could tell you a story about each and every one of those clients.
Yeah.
So, um that's just what's more important to me about it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they all have meanings without meanings.
Yeah. What's up, y'all? We
All
back.
right. So we already went through the birthday parties.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
was talking about the art. Now I want to like kind of spin back to like the self-care shit.
Yeah.
because after all these events, like this is the time I'm gonna be really hustling down, and I want to do some shit for the community, not just taking appointments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I 2025, I told myself I wanted to do some cool shit,
Yeah.
and I didn't want it to just be like, oh, I'm doing a Friday the 13th event, or oh, I'm doing a Halloween event. Like I wanted it to be something that like actually mattered in my
Yeah.
opinion. And so for me, like the self hair, this, oh goodness, I can't talk, y'all should already know this one. But like the self-care tattoos, like
Yeah.
that's something that I really want to do this year. So with that being said, I am in the works of planning an event, whether it's self-harm scars, whether it's regular scars, whether it's a gang tattoo, whether it's a name tattoo covered up that you need gone, whether whatever it is, if it has a meaning to you and you're feeling bad about it,
Yeah.
let's get it covered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I know I've had some where like I look at this and I'm like, I'm so disappointed that I did this. And it's
Yeah.
not even like I regret my tattoos, but it's like I to like feel like more like yourself, like you get
Yeah.
that confidence back. Like you when you cover up something that you didn't want anymore, or that like maybe you're insecure of, or maybe people just point out all the time, like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
gives you a new form of confidence,
For sure.
not only in yourself but like in your body. You get excited to show your tattoo off. Like
Yeah.
I said, I told you I have those self-harm scars on my leg,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I wouldn't wear shorts because I didn't want people saying something. I
Yeah.
had someone always saying something, no matter who it was. They would either look at you weird and they would say something with their eyes, or they would go and whisper, or they would laugh, or they would say something directly to you, like, oh, why did you do that? Like, I'm not
Yeah.
embarrassed to say why I did that. I'm not.
Yeah.
I've gone through things where, like, personally, it took away the mental pain. And
Yeah.
that's not something I'm ashamed of saying. And I know people relate to that. Like, you just go through so much where what else can you do?
Yeah.
What else can you do? And like for me personally, like being able to cover up some of those, it gave me a whole new confidence. I'm like, people aren't just gonna sit here and judge me based off of what they see. Like no matter what, you're still gonna get judged, because now I get judged for my tattoos, which I never really
Yeah.
cared. Like you're not gonna. It's a tattoo. Like
Yeah.
it don't bother me if people judge me about my tattoos, but like trying to. I've heard some crazy ass things based off of people seeing self harm scars on me. I've
Yeah.
heard some crazy ass things. And so for me, it's like you can't say those crazy things anymore.
Yeah.
And like it got to a point where I kind of just stopped caring. Like now obviously you still see some of them, but I'm not ashamed of them. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
not everyone can get to that point though.
Yeah.
I can luckily say that yes, I still have some that are visible and that people do point out, but I'm not ashamed of them.
Yeah.
I went through what I went through. You didn't. Like
Yeah.
you didn't step into my role. You don't know everything about it. You
Yeah.
never know. But there's some people that like they haven't gotten to that point, and they might not be able to get to that point
Yeah.
when it
Yeah.
comes to like people saying something, or like how they think other people will feel about it. And so for me, if you're feeling any type of way, you're going through anything because of something that's on your body and you think I can cover it, let me know. I'm gonna post about the event and just let me know. All you have to do is text me. It's gonna be more of like a private event. I know a lot of my events like they just be flash tattoos. I'm like, y'all can just pull up. This one's gonna be obviously more sentimental. It's
Yeah.
gonna be more private, and it's gonna be way more secluded. I'm only gonna do one person at a time. I want to get a chance to. I want to hear someone's story.
Yeah.
Tell me whatever you want to tell me.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna like give y'all like whatever. Like tell me whatever you want to tell me about why this tattoo needs covered up, or what happened with whatever.
Yeah.
Like just it's really just gonna be like you text me, send me whatever idea you have, or if you want me to freestyle it, just tell me you want to come in, and it'll be like a week long thing.
Yeah.
I'll do like a week long like mini event of that, and it'll just because since it's so secluded, I can't just do like a full day.
Yeah.
So I want to do like a full week of, we'll do like those specific appointments. I won't even just take regular appointments. Like those will be like targeted to that specific event.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sorry, I'm just rambling. I'll get the event details figured out. But when I do post about it, all you have to do is text me.
Yeah.
If you don't feel comfortable explaining, you don't have to. But I am here to listen, and I'm not one to judge you because I mean, like I said, I can show you my scars. I can tell you what tattoos cover up a scar, or what tattoos have a meaning that you probably wouldn't even guess have a meaning.
Yeah.
So I'm not the one to judge you, but I'll let y'all know if that's in the works. That's something
Yeah.
really, really big that I have planned.
Yeah, I
So
think that's dope. I
yeah,
think that
that's
shit's
like
important.
that. Like obviously, like the birthdays are important, but like
Yeah.
I'm sure those probably won't happen until like spring, summertime is what I'm gearing those towards. But this event, like, I'm trying to host it real soon.
Yeah.
Trying to host it real soon. So once I get all of that figured out, then it'll definitely a whole week long.
Yeah, I
A
like
whole
that.
week long. I'll go Sunday to Sunday,
Yeah, I
and
don't know if
it
people want to do it because it's all probably like sensitive, but I'd like to see some content around that. Have people like explaining their
um
story behind their tats. That'd be cool.
you kind of already know how I feel about that.
Yeah,
I'm not one to like I have some clients that they love it when I post their stuff and
yeah,
like
yeah,
they
yeah,
want to do like the
yeah,
rock paper scissors and they're okay with me posting it. I won't post anything you're not comfortable with.
yeah, for
So
sure.
let's say
Yeah,
you come in and you have self-harm scars and you want to get them covered, but you don't want me to take any pictures. You don't want me to post them.
yeah,
I won't.
yeah, yeah,
I won't even pull my phone out. You can put your phone up too. I'll put my phone up. We'll put them away. We can just have it me and you type of session. Like that's not
yeah,
something that bothers me whatsoever.
yeah,
So it's fully up to the client and
yeah,
what
yeah,
they're
yeah,
comfortable with. Like I
yeah,
said, I
for
want
sure.
this is not only like a chance to meet new people, it's a chance for me to meet new people that I could possibly help.
Yeah,
And so like for me, like I've gotten help by covering up some of my tattoos and I want to be able to do that for someone else. So I would need like I need one-on-one time with you. I want it to be secluded. I don't want you to feel like I know sometimes like when you're in a shop, like there's just too many people around you feel like you
yeah,
can't really
yeah,
talk sometimes. I don't want that at all. And like sometimes my event, I have like a whole full house packed. Like there's a whole line. I don't want that at all. Like this event is it's a very personal, it's a very meaningful, and for me it's a very important event. It's going to be like however long I think that tattoo or that appointment's going to take. Let's
yeah,
say for like the consultation, I'm going to say anywhere from like an hour to an hour and a half. I'm going to want to talk to you, possibly figure out all of that, and then do the tattoo can be anywhere from an hour to who knows how long.
yeah,
Like if I need to block off a whole day for that cover up, that's just fine. I just need to know the area, what I'm covering up, and what you want to cover it up with.
yeah,
And then we can go from there. If you want to tell me about it, tell me about it.
yeah,
But like that's definitely like one of the most important things I got coming.
yeah, yeah,
Definitely one. That's why I told you that other shit's getting pushed off for a little bit
yeah,
because
yeah,
this event I told myself it had to be in 2025. It
yeah,
had to be because I wanted to do something like it last year, and I was like, no, wait and get it exactly how you want it. Don't even rush it. Like think deeply about what you want that event to have, and then go for it. And so now
yeah,
I have most of the whole plan out. Like I have the whole idea, and I have like how I want it to go. It's just figuring out where I want to do it at,
yeah,
when I want to do it, how I want to execute it all, and then put it in place. But I can
yeah,
tell you in like the next 3 to 4 months, if not sooner. I don't know. I might pop out a little quicker, but I'll say 4 months or less.
for
We're gonna
sure.
throw. It's
Yeah,
gonna. If it's a week long, yeah, it's definitely some shit. Definitely some shit. And I know I have a couple clients that I've already kind of talked to about it, and they like I'm already talking about starting my own podcast, but mine's
yeah,
more of
yeah,
like my appointment based. I told you some of my clients will be
yeah,
on there, and so like we had already kind of like plans for this type of event, but it was more on a podcast. So I
yeah,
already know with them we would be like that's where I could get my content with.
yeah,
I have
yeah. I
some people
like
that
that.
I know
Yeah,
are okay with content. I know they have like specific tattoos like that I can maybe get like 1 to 2 clients out of.
yeah,
So for that whole event, if I only get 1 to 2 people to let me record, I'm just fine with that.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
for
just
sure.
fine with that because at the end of the day, like that's if that's not for everyone to see and they don't want everyone to see that, then that's not for everyone to see and not
Yeah,
everyone
yeah,
needs to see
yeah,
it. Me and that client knew. Me and that client had a good session. Me and that client got to have a talk. They got to let whatever out or they got to cover up something and now they feel better about it and they got to walk out of here feeling happy.
yeah,
Like that's for me is more important than getting some content and some fucking pictures and a
yeah,
video and
yeah,
oh, hey, look what I did. Like it don't matter like that. It matters like what you could do for that person. That's why for me it's an important event because this is solely an event on what can I do to help you.
yeah,
Like it's solely a what can I do to help you.
yeah, yeah. Do
Like
you have a? Do you ever want to get like your own studio?
I I've always believed in go big or go home.
Yeah,
And so I thought about doing a studio and I've reached out to a couple places about a studio or shops, that type of shit.
yeah,
I personally, with how like my mindset is and kind of how like with my businesses, I don't plan on working in a shop or
yeah,
like
yeah,
having
yeah,
my own studio. I
yeah,
kind of want to it's gonna stay like this
Yeah.
until I pop out with my own shop.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that. I feel like
Like
you would be a good person to own a shop eventually
like
because you like
that's
you tapped in with the city well. You know all the artists, you fuck with
yeah.
people, you
Yeah, I do.
supportive.
Cause I
So
like
I feel like you would pick like the right people. You get a dope team together.
there's and at the end of the day, like I always believe in love who loves you, support
Yeah,
who supports you, and
for
it's
sure.
always a vice versa. If you're not feeling it, then like don't feel bad because you're not feeling it. Like
Yeah,
you don't have to fuck with anyone you don't want to fuck with. You don't have to talk to anyone you don't want to talk to. You don't nothing. You don't have to do nothing. That's the greatest thing about life. You're your own adult. You're on your person. You make your
yeah,
own decisions. So like for me, like recently life has been about like loving who loves me
yeah,
and like what's important to me and what I'm doing with my career and what I want out of life, like putting myself first, putting my business first, putting my goals, all of that, putting it first. And so I've while doing all of that, I've learned that you have to surround yourself by people who not only inspire you but who want to do better, if not who are already doing better than you,
yeah,
who have some of those maybe same similar goals. Maybe they're just a little bit different than yours, but trying to achieve the same things.
yeah,
People
yeah,
who push you to do better. If you're not saying, hey, you could have done this differently or whatever, like they have to push you to do better. And so
yeah,
like for me, like I told you, my sister Autumn, like
yeah, yeah,
she every single day, you got it. You got it. Like if I'm ever down on myself, she'll sit there and I'll do the same thing, vice versa. That's why I call that girl my sister, because at the end of the day, she showed that sisterly love.
yeah,
Like we can sit here and when she's down, I'm like, hey, get out of your head. You got it. You know what the hell's going on. Like don't let yourself get there and get to that place.
yeah,
And she'll snap right out of it. Well, no matter how long of a talk we have to have. And it's that same thing. When I told you there's been a lot of shit going on recently.
yeah,
And
yeah,
she's sat me down and she's like, baby, she's like, you are putting like you expect so much out of yourself and you're doing all these expectations, but then you do all those expectations and then you feel like you're not doing enough. Like you already do all that and then you have nothing, like you're waiting on your other shit, so you feel like you have nothing right now and then you feel like you're not doing enough.
yeah,
That's the one thing I can say that I struggle with, is the fact that I'm always trying to do something. Like I always want to do better. I'm like, okay, well, we did this. What can we do next?
yeah,
Or hey, we did this event for this reason. How about we do this one for this reason? Or like anything. I'm always trying to do something because like I feel like you can't ever be satisfied.
yeah,
Like you can always do better in some way. If you have all the means to, you're doing fine in life. You're like if it doesn't benefit you type of shit, like right now with that event for me, I feel like that event is like something I'm able to do
yeah,
and something that's personal to me, and so I want to do it. There's no one that can tell me I can't do it.
yeah,
So like it's on that type of shit. I don't really know how to explain it, but I know you kind of understand where I'm going for that.
yeah, yeah,
Like you have to get yourself to a point like where you can do those things.
yeah,
Like if I wasn't financially like stable enough to be able to do an event like that, and I wasn't mentally prepared, because like at the end of like they already know I got self-harm scars, I have trauma, I have a past, I've been through
yeah,
things. And so like you have to be mentally prepared to be able to hear and to handle other people's things,
yeah,
because I feel like as a service provider, like a lot of times like people do come in here and tell us certain things like about their tattoos, like hey, I want to cover up these scars,
yeah,
I did this and I don't want to look at him anymore.
yeah,
Like for me, that's you. That's not only you just providing your services, you're using, like you're a human too.
yeah, yeah,
Like that's you have to see like you have to see other people as people.
yeah, yeah.
Like to
Whatever
be
like
able,
judgment tattoos have around them, like still like tattoos is like therapy for some people for
it
real.
really is. And like also like
Yeah,
doing tattoos is therapeutic,
yeah, I
because
feel
I
that.
told you that whole event is how can I help you?
Yeah,
Like for me, that's therapeutic as fuck. If like being able to help someone, whether or not you struggled with something I struggled with or not,
yeah,
but being able to help you feel better about yourself or your body or about what happened, like that for me is important, because a
yeah,
lot of my tattoos did that for me.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
whether it's self-expression, whether it was to cover up a scar, whether it tells a story, like all of my tattoos, like they might look crazy, but they all got something there for a
yeah,
reason.
yeah, yeah,
I like some of them, like they might look stupid to other people, but I'm like, I could tell you, like we'll use the SpongeBob tattoo because that one gets brought up all the time. Like the SpongeBob tattoo, that was like the most consistent thing I was allowed to watch as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, I just remember
Yeah.
watching SpongeBob all the time. That was the thing that, like, stuck with me.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna put SpongeBob on it. Like, now as an
I
adult,
fuck with that.
like when I'm just sitting here smoking a blunt and fucking, I want to just, I don't
Yeah.
want to watch anything, but I want to watch. I'm gonna put on either SpongeBob, Chowder, the Powerpuff Girls,
Yeah.
like,
Straight up, I think I watched SpongeBob
Bob's
like 2, 3 days ago.
Burgers,
That's
like
that shit.
those types of shit. Like the shit I feel like we grew up on. Like I go back to
Yeah.
like shit I would just remember as a kid. And so for me, like I have SpongeBob on me, I have the Powerpuff Girls on me, I
Yeah.
have Betty Boop. I plan on getting a Scooby Doo tattoo somewhere.
Yeah.
Like that don't mean nothing to Billy Bob down the street. He's gonna be like,
Yeah,
oh,
for
this girl
sure.
just got cartoon characters on her. I'm like, hey, this shit actually reminds me of my childhood.
Yeah.
Like this shit was important to me as a kid, and so now I feel like it needs to be on my arm. Like you never really know
Yeah.
with people, you never know, and
Yeah.
so that's why I feel like you can't really sit here and judge people's tattoos because you never know. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
if you didn't tell me the story of your
What?
hand tattoo,
Yeah.
I would have never known.
Yeah.
I would have
Yeah.
never known what that. I was like, oh, okay, that's just a drawing. But then
Yeah.
you told me the story about it. I'm like, no, that like I felt honored that you let me do that shit
Yeah.
because
That shit therapeutic for
that's
real.
some
Yeah.
sentimental ass shit, and not everyone not only doesn't feel comfortable enough but being vulnerable, but some people can't
Yeah.
be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And so like that's kind of what like with the self-care. Like for me, I consider that like a self-care tattoo.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
memorial tattoos, in a way, sometimes that's therapeutic for people.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Like
I don't think I said it on this podcast. It was on Humble's podcast, but the story behind this tattoo, DEP is really it was just our initials, but back when I was a teenager, like 15, 16 type shit, me and my boy Dalton and Poncho, we used to skate together. And we started up a YouTube channel, and we was like making our own skateboards. We was trying to become like a brand, and it was DEP, and this was the logo bro drew up. Really, it was carved into wood. This motherfucker was so crazy. He was in a wood class in high school and just carved our logo out, and we started stamping it on shirts. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that bitch tatted on me. I told him when I was 16 I was gonna get this on my hand.
oh god.
So a little while later, I don't even really know when because I kind of blocked it out mentally, but I think we were like 18, 19. He passed away, and I told myself on that day, like, yeah, I'm doing it now. This shit gonna be on me. So it's a therapeutic tattoo in a way of like now every single day I wake up and I look down at this and I'm like, yep, I gotta hit every fucking goal we had.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, I see that shit every day. It's a reminder.
Okay.
I still gotta
So
make all that shit come true just cause he ain't here. You know what I'm saying? Don't mean
exactly.
the dreams stop.
Exactly. That's like what this arm is. Like
Yeah,
having my dad's and my mom's name on me, or
yeah,
like having envy inks on my face.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
nobody will ever truly know. Like nobody ever will truly know like what all I put into this.
yeah,
Whatever it was money, whether it was time, whether it was tears, whether like I'm sitting here fucking depressed or y'all don't know, or the
yeah,
sacrifice, and nobody knows, and it doesn't matter is the thing. It doesn't matter. So I don't need to like sit here and preach about it, but like that goes for anyone and anything. Nobody,
yeah,
I don't truly know how you feel about that or what all you went through
yeah,
or your
yeah,
feelings on that. Just nobody will ever know like how much I put into Envy Inks
yeah,
or what all it took or any of it. So like for me, I felt like it deserved to be on my fucking face.
yeah,
like
yeah,
like for me, when I was thinking about a face tattoo, because I've been thinking about a face tattoo for a minute, I'm like, okay, so like what deserves to be on your face?
yeah,
And my first thought was my fucking brand.
yeah,
That my
yeah,
fucking brand. Like my brand is me though, because I literally built this shit.
yeah,
Like I picked the name and I had hella people saying Envy Inks is so stupid. What are you doing with Envy Inks? I'm like, I fuck with it. It has a meaning for me. Like I fuck with Envy Inks,
yeah,
regardless of what anyone else. This isn't your business. That like y'all not sitting in here every day tattooing it.
yeah,
Like y'all not promoting it. So for me, like the name, the logo, like it didn't matter if anyone else liked it. I
yeah,
liked it. I was happy with it. When I designed that shit on fucking Canva, I was excited as hell. I was like, oh my God. Like I had made it my lock screen for so fucking long. Like,
yeah,
and the thing is I made it.
yeah,
And designed it and came up with the ideas and the colors. So like for me, that's something I was proud of. Like I did all of that. There wasn't anyone just sitting here like, oh, you should do all purple this and no.
yeah.
Like obviously I've asked for people's inputs and I got told that Envy Inks was stupid or that they liked it or whatever. There
Nah,
was
that's a
so
hard
many
name.
different answers. But at the end of the day, like nobody's opinion of mine mattered because I have to live with this shit.
Yeah,
Like I don't plan on changing the brand. Like when I told myself I wanted to create like an actual brand, okay, like sit down, what do you want to do? Create a brand, create a logo,
yeah,
and stick with it. and I picked one that I feel fully comfortable sticking with. And so for me, like, that's why I felt like it deserved to be on my face. I
Yeah.
was like, it's me. It's literally me. And it made me so excited to do it too. When I was getting I had a smile on my face almost the whole fucking time. I was so excited.
Yeah.
I was so excited to put it on my face. So, I
I feel
mean,
like that's partially like motivation too. You're gonna look at that every day and it's
I
like,
wake up
yep,
every single day and I
I'm
see
doing
Envy
this.
Inks.
Yeah.
Like there's no not seeing it. It's
Yeah.
literally on my face. Like
Yeah.
maybe if it's on like my shoulder or something, like I'm not gonna look at it every day, but no, that
Yeah.
shit's right here on my face. Like I see it every single day.
That shit still
So
ever shock you? I mean,
no,
sometimes I'll be smoking and then I look down and see my hand and I'm like, God damn, that's on me. That's
I
crazy.
think I've already gone through that like enough times now because I
Yeah.
told you like I have so many tattoos I've lost count of them
Yeah.
and I be
Yeah.
forgetting about some of them
Yeah. I
and then I
just
be
started.
trying to like count all of them and then I forget about them or whatever
Yeah.
the case may be and then I'm always adding some so it's like
Yeah.
okay do I count like this whole arm as a tattoo or do I count like all the little individual
Yeah.
tattoos
Now,
and
every time I walk past the
man
mirror right now, that 316 stick out and I'm
he's
like,
like,
damn,
damn. But
that's
see,
crazy.
like that's I feel like once we get that arm sleeve done, like you're not
Yeah.
gonna really like feel like you'll feel like that for that one, but then anything else afterwards, like you
Yeah.
might have a couple more realizations. But then it's like you just like, oh hey, I got another tattoo. Like
Yeah.
it gets to that point like I don't like have a realization like, oh
What?
damn, a lot of my body is covered.
Let's talk about the sleeve a little bit because I actually wanna talk about that because people are gonna see the progression of it.
Okay.
I'm gonna show it off on
Okay.
the fucking
Okay.
podcast.
Yeah, cause we doing progress on it. We doing sessions.
Yeah.
We
So
doing
for those of you who
sessions.
don't know, when I was 18, I moved down to Florida, like I said, with my boy Dalton before he passed, and I wanted to get some shit to kind of represent like my time in Florida. You know, that was like one of the happiest and saddest times of my life at the same time because of that
Nah,
shit, because of him
I could
passing.
understand that. I
But
could understand that.
I thought it would be cool to get that shit tatted on me. So I came to her, and really my only vision was just like, I don't know, some palm trees or some shit.
That's all he told me. That's all he told me about the idea. He's like some palm trees. And then like from palm trees, I kind of like I was what was it? I asked you like really one or two questions before you left and I
Yeah,
just gave
yeah,
myself time to think about it.
yeah,
I was like, are we kind of going for like
yeah,
GTA-ish vibes like with the Florida, but like a little bit of like
yeah,
LA, but GTA. And I knew he wanted palm trees, so I've been sitting on this idea for a while, just designing this fat ass sleeve for him. But that's really all he told me. He answered a couple questions and said
yeah.
palm trees, and now we got like, what was it? We're gonna do that custom car. Whose car was
Yeah,
it?
yeah. So the car, so basically you said the GTA theme. I was like, damn, that's hard. You started showing me pictures. It started piecing
Yeah,
together. I'm like, yep, yep,
yeah,
this is
that
tough.
straight black and white shading type shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you had mentioned you were like, it'd be cool to put a car in it. And I was like,
Yeah.
that would be dope. I started thinking, so not to get too like personal or into it, but I always had a real, tough relationship with my dad's entire side of the family pretty much.
Yeah.
Never really got along, butt heads like crazy.
I
But
get it.
my grandpa on his side was like the only one on that side of the
Yeah.
family that like always real supportive of me. Fucked with me heavy even when I got into the music. Like he fucked with me. He was
That
such a good
yeah.
dude,
Yeah,
and he passed
one
away
number
a few
one
years ago.
supporter.
Yeah, he was the only family member I had that I was really like ever. I wouldn't even say close to because we didn't really talk like that. But he was always like respectful to me. Whereas everybody else on that side of the family, I always felt like the one that like I was the outcast. I was the disappointment of the
They
family.
always had some shit to say.
Yeah, I
Like
was
you,
always like the fuck up of the family.
I get
Where
that.
he was the one who didn't treat me like that.
Yeah,
You feel me?
because you be coming to them like, be like,
Yeah.
oh hey, I did this podcast today, or oh hey, I
Yeah.
did this, and like they're like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's
like,
that type of shit.
like,
But he was the good one,
I
and he
get
used to
that.
collect like old cars.
Uh-huh.
And he had this one car that was like his prized possession. It's a 1952 Kaiser Fraser Henry J.
Isn't it
I
purple?
know that shit is
I was
etched in
about
my
to say,
mind.
you
Yeah,
showed
it's
me that
purple.
picture of that purple. I was like, that
Yeah,
purple is
that was
like
his shit. He
so
loved that
perfect.
car.
So
So when you
perfect.
said that, I was like, damn, I could put his car in it, and that like connects a whole
No,
nother personal thing
really
to it.
could.
So that sleeve
Really
is really
could.
gonna be my whole fucking left side is personal now.
Bro, that shit, that's like,
Yeah,
that's what I love about tattooing. I've always told you, like, anytime we've talked about it, I don't feel like tattooing,
yeah,
like, you can do it, obviously. Anybody can fucking do it if you get taught or you teach yourself.
yeah,
But the difference is like, the different artists.
Yeah, you got a good like creative vision
Like,
for the shit. Cause
like
I ain't gonna lie, pretty much everything I've come to her with is like a real vague
like
idea.
very vague. He's one of I'm not in the hateful way at all, but he's
Yeah,
one of my most vague clients when he gives me an idea.
for sure.
But I fuck with it because you always give me a chance to like
Yeah,
show you what I got.
yeah,
Like you always test it a little bit, and that's something I'm okay with because like for me, art is like tattooing is art.
yeah,
My words, you already fucking know I hate this shit. But like tattooing is art. It's
yeah,
not you're not gonna go for a long time doing it if you don't have a love for it. And
yeah,
so like
yeah,
for me, my love with tattooing is my love for art and then self-expression and like how like I'll tell you right now, when I had like no tattoos and I was going through all the shit I was going through, like the self-hatred I had from like I had terrible self-body image. I
yeah,
hated myself. I hated the shit I was going through. I hated the world because it's like why the fuck do I have to go through all this shit? And then like I was finding I had no good coping mechanisms. So
yeah,
like I was always trying to find ways to like figure out how to make myself fucking feel better. Like for a while it was dyeing my hair.
yeah,
There was one time, like 1 year, I dyed my hair. I don't even know how many fucking colors. Like every other month, it was a different color, or it just like ran. Like literally, this year, I went from my hair was pretty fucking long to I just randomly chopped it off one day because I felt like it.
yeah,
Like for me, that's self-expression. That's whether you're making yourself feel better or you just feel like doing it. So tattoos is that same thing. For
yeah,
me, it was not only self-expression; it was telling a story and it was making me feel better.
yeah,
And like seeing art on your body, you're going from just this plain skin and you have all these memories of this plain skin, whether you have fucking cellulite, you have scars, you have indentations, you have burn marks, this plain skin with all of these marks on it to this canvas that's covered in all this crazy shit.
yeah,
And everyone's is different. Like, don't get me wrong. Obviously, there's like those Pinterest copy and paste pieces. But then you have some shit like this where you can literally just take a very vague idea
yeah,
and turn it into a whole art piece. We're taking, okay, we wanted a little bit of sentimental, but then it went to really sentimental because you
yeah,
have the hand piece is sentimental,
yeah,
and then like the theme behind it was sentimental. But now we're just throwing in some shit where it's like, damn, that whole piece is it's
yeah,
there, it's there. But that for me is what's important about tattooing. Like I told you about Autumn's husband, he already had that he had that piece up on his shoulder
yeah,
that he wants covered, and then he had that other one on his arm that he wanted me to blend in. I took his whole arm basically, created a whole cover up piece that's customized because he told you I ain't gonna say it on here because I don't want to ruin his sleeve. I don't want to ruin my idea. But hold on. We don't have to. I'm just gonna pop that though. But like taking that, so we threw in a cover up, obviously, and then like there's those customizations to make it real personal.
yeah,
But then like the all the personal details are crazy. You're throwing in his whole family into an arm and
yeah,
like just off of some ideas. And it's like, okay, well I have this cover up. I'm gonna turn it into a staircase, and then all the shit I'm doing on top of the staircase and around the staircase, and we're having this quote here, and then oh hey, he has that tattoo on his hand, right? And I told you I had to incorporate shit. So he has a money rose on his hand,
yeah,
and that's for money is the root of all evil. And
yeah,
so he wants to combine the root of all evil with like God and
yeah,
like his spiritual shit and his religion. So you're taking basically the good, the bad, and the ugly,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you're combining it into one piece. And you're creating like this is the root of all evil. This has caused me so many issues, but then this is my family, and this is my peace and my happiness.
yeah,
It's like it's one you have to be able to connect with someone to kind of understand and like grasp what they want into the piece because this is feelings, these are emotions, these are memories, these are experiences into art, into a tattoo piece on someone's body for the rest of their life.
yeah,
And so that's literally what I did. I took, okay, you want to cover up? Okay, you want some godly shit up here. All right, we're going to do this staircase with hella clouds around it. We're going to do some rays, and then his customized shit that he wanted.
yeah,
And then you said, like, that tattoo he wants covered, it was a scripture. He's like, I still want that scripture, but it was my first ever tattoo. I was young and they fucked it up. So I just want it moved and I want it done better. Okay. So we're going to tie that in. It's going to mix in with these clouds. You're going to have this scripture right here with these birds flying out this way. But
Yeah.
you got these rays up here at the very top of your arm. Well, guess what? Now we're going to combine it down in here so it all matches. And then blend all that in together with the root of evil. Like, that takes not only a creative mind, but an artistic mind. You're being vulnerable because you're being able to connect with someone with how they felt and all of those emotions.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, if you're not doing tattooing for like the right reasons, you're not going to be able to do some shit like that.
Yeah.
You're not just going to be able to create that up. And let alone, I did that in less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I took his ideas. I was like, Vaughn, I already see it. Can I just show you? And he was like, just show me. And I was like, I already have your idea. I already know what you want. You've talked to me about this sleeve before. I know you on a personal level. I know what you felt, what you experienced. And then like a cover up, that's not hard.
Yeah.
I was like, because I can see how I can cover it up and then tie it all in. So I literally went and grabbed a Sharpie. I moved the ring light. I said, stand in front of this mirror. And I drew it all out. And he watched me draw it all out. And then I explained it all to him. And he was like, he was so shocked. He's like, I don't know how you did that or how you even came up with that or how I even understand how you did that. Because, like, I drew it all on him. I didn't say anything. I just drew it on him. And then I went in and explained everything to him.
Yeah.
And he understood. He's like, no, I see the vision. And it's really taking, like, multiple ideas, multiple pieces, multiple different feelings and putting it all into one thing. So you can't just copy and paste it from Pinterest. You're taking this one thigh piece or this one arm piece and putting it on there. No, you're taking 50 different things or whatever and putting it on a fucking arm and creating like a very sentimental piece. Yeah. So for me, that's how I feel about tattooing. Yeah. Because I've seen a lot of different people feel different ways on it. But for me, I'm like, you have to have some sort of love for it. Whether, let's say you're specifically a fucking cover-up artist. You just want to be able to help people do cover-ups. Okay. That's your love for it. You just like being able to help people. Or let's say you are an artist before you were a tattoo artist. You've always loved art. Yeah. So like for you, your love for it is the art behind it. Or like, I don't even know. There's so many different thoughts, feelings, why people do these things. But like for me, I love art. I love being able to help people. And I have a creative brain. Yeah. So if I can take a creative brain, like I told you, when I read books, I watch movies in my head when I read them. So like for me, if I can take what some people say like a weird brain, because not everyone says they can do that. When they read a book, they just read a book. Yeah. So like obviously not everyone can do that.
I feel you. I'm like that with music.
Yeah.
Like I see a music video. Yeah. I feel like people think I'm weird when I say that, but if you play a song, like I see like a visual for
like,
it.
You can see like a cool ass music video for it.
Yeah, that's the way music hits for me.
It's the same thing. It's just doing it in everyone has their own niche. Yeah. And so like for me, my niche is like I've been able to create things. Yeah. Like I'm taking just an arm and a couple ideas and just creating something because I have that visual brain. Like I'm looking at your arm and you're describing a couple things and I'm just visually seeing it on you. You gave me palm trees and you was going with the GTA vibes. I was just sitting there looking at your arm. Like literally I'm like, okay, palm trees right here, put a car right here, do this right here, do some clouds, maybe some shoes hanging down. Like that's just how my brain operates. And so for me, that's why I love tattooing, because I'm getting to express every single day. Yeah. I'm getting to do something creative every single day. I'm doing something different. I'm getting to meet people. I'm getting to help people. Like, it's not just about tattooing. Yeah. Well, like, maybe in the very beginning when I was first starting, because that's the only thing I could focus on. Like, I just got to fucking learn how to do this. Yeah. I just got to learn how to do it. But, like, now, like, I already know how to do it. Obviously, you can still keep learning, and you can never stop learning with tattoos. I swear, there's always something you're not going to know how to do. But like now, it's not just about tattooing anymore. Yeah. I've got to the point where it's like, okay, this is my full-time career. This is my love. This is my passion. Now I want to take it. I want to do something with it. And there's so many things I can do with it. So that's why like that other shit's more important to me right now. Yeah. I don't mind taking a week off of, let's say, my regular clients to be able to do something that not only is important to me but can help other people. And it's still being creative. It's still doing something I love. I'm still working. I'm still doing my career, but I'm also, it's networking, because you're doing things for other people and you're also mixing in like sentimental shit. So it's like, hey, she did this self-harm cover up for me. And so that for me, it's networking, but it's also not networking. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like if they they don't have to go tell you anybody who did it. They don't have to talk about it. They can just go on and, hey, I got this tattoo, and that's that.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not networking, but like you can always think, hey, that's networking. Even if it's not, sometimes it always can be. You never know. Like that's
Yeah.
what like one of my biggest things like on a business aspect is things are networking that aren't networking. But then things are also not networking. Like you never know. So you just be prepared for just about anything. Like
Yeah.
what was it? I can give you an example. Fuck. Like I walk into the gas station and there's someone that recognized me there and they're like, hey, you do tattoos, right? And obviously I'm like, yeah, I do. And then they're like, you're Kinzie. And I was like, yeah. Or like when I was going out to the
Yeah.
club, people would recognize me out in the club.
I'm already
Or
knowing your Snapchat motion is stupid.
bro, I feel bad because like I can't even really reply to anyone off of Snapchat anymore, and I try to like give people warnings, and some people don't see them.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, if you text me off Snapchat, you just be prepared. You're gonna have to wait because I have over 10K people on there now, and
Hey, I'll say
like,
I don't have near as many followers on this shit. Like I think the Instagram about to hit 2,000. The fucking TikTok is at like a little over 1,000, shit like
yeah,
that. But like I can't answer DMs. I don't even try. I
bro,
literally don't answer shit.
but
I don't open shit. Yo,
see,
Snapchat is stupid.
that's like,
She'll post a Snapchat, like post my tattoo or something and tag me. I'll get like within 10 minutes, I'll get like 100 ads,
bro,
and I'm like, what the
but
fuck?
like everybody says that, and I like that's why I try and give people warnings. If like if you're trying to get a hold of me for like a tattoo appointment, I really prefer to get reached out by Instagram
Yeah,
because Instagram, I love that they do this, but they do like primary booked, like you can create like all these different files, like all your booked people are right here.
yeah, yeah,
And then I like Snapchat because they do have this, but it's just so hard to get back to people. They have the unread section.
yeah,
So
yeah,
any messages you haven't read yet, you can click that and go through all of them, which I do use that when I can get back to people on
yeah.
Snapchat. But like getting back to people on Snapchat is like so fucking hard.
I'm already
It's
knowing.
so hard. And I love that I can do that. Like I love when I can collab with people
Yeah,
and I can tag them on my shit and they can get ads and more people can know about them. And that's networking and that's building. You're building together. But like sometimes it's just a struggle. And then like I don't only do tattooing.
yeah,
So like I do tattooing, I have my assistant position, and then I have other businesses and shit that I work on. Like I don't
yeah,
obviously, you know, some of my ideas I have coming lately, and then let like we've been talking about in this video, like all the shit that I have to do with tattooing that isn't just specifically like appointments. It's not just like, oh, hey, anyone can book. Like, no,
yeah,
this is like, hey, like I'm being serious. Like, this is some important shit. This is your chance. This is your time. Like, this is important, so I want to do it. Like for me, that's what this year is going to be about.
yeah.
Is
I feel
definitely
that.
like yes, I do have a platform, but like there's always going to be someone bigger than you. There's always going to be someone
Yeah,
better
yeah,
than you. There's going to be someone that people are going to think is more important than you. Like at the end of the day, I have less than 800 people on my fucking on my tattooing account because I have
yeah,
my tattooing account and then I have the other one for like the music shit and it's really just a personal one too.
yeah,
But like I have less than 800 people on there.
yeah,
Facebook, I don't even know, like 4,000 maybe, maybe lower than that, maybe higher. I don't know. I really don't
yeah,
pay attention to like the friend count on there. That shit's not really relevant. But like in Snapchat, I already know I have over 10K. That's cool and all. And like it's comes in handy. But like sometimes it sucks. Like I am a normal person too. Like as someone, you're an introvert too.
yeah.
So let's
For sure.
say like you're going through shit or you have like mental health shit. You're going through a seasonal depression or let's say your life is just whatever.
Yeah,
Like there's been times where it's like I've been just going through it and I can't get back to people for like
yeah, yeah,
days. And
yeah,
like I can't just sit here and be like, "Oh, hey, like I'm struggling with this" cuz not everyone's going to care and it's not everyone's business, but like
yeah,
I think one big thing I've noticed about 2024 is like a lot of people don't have boundaries
yeah,
and you have to be able to set very clear but very reasonable boundaries. So
yeah,
like I'll use this example. I was out at I was in Kansas City on vacation during Thanksgiving. Now, mind you, I had booked appointments after Thanksgiving because when I go up there, obviously I want to take some clients. I have some people that like literally just wait for me to come up there. It's easier for them so they don't have to pay travel fees because I'm already going up there. And that's fine. It don't bother me.
yeah.
But I had shit like scheduled for after Thanksgiving. I had people blowing up my phone on Thanksgiving. Like people literally calling me while like I'm trying to eat. with
Yeah.
my family. And like it's people I don't even know. And it's not something I'm gonna get mad at. I don't get mad at people double texting. I don't get mad at any of that. But it's also like I feel like people forget what boundaries are. Like, did you
Yeah.
forget it was Thanksgiving or
Yeah.
it was
Yeah. For
Christmas
sure.
Day? I was like, or maybe it's just I worked for 2 days straight and I just need to
Yeah.
sleep for a day. Like
Yeah.
there's sometimes like I think people forget. But I also like I just try to there's sometimes that I know people don't think about that shit. Like
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
because that's my standpoint. Like I've
Yeah.
never really been not that I haven't been big on the family shit, but I've never like really been big on like, oh hey, I'm gonna go up here to see this family for this holiday. Most of the time I just said fuck it. For
Yeah.
like the last couple of years, like I either went with someone else to their family shit or I just said fuck it and didn't go to anything. And so like for me, I obviously understand how sometimes someone might not think about that. Maybe they don't
Yeah.
have no family and it's Thanksgiving and they're just like, hey, I want to book a tattoo. Hey, can you book my tattoo right now so I can stop thinking about everything else? So I try not to get mad and I don't get mad, but man, sometimes it
Yeah.
just be
People
hard.
don't think
It
about
just be
shit.
hard. But then like as
Yeah.
I'm a understanding person, like I try and see like by different point of views because I've been in different situations.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, maybe this is going on, but also at the same time, like I understand if that's going on, but I'm gonna have people wait and I'm gonna get back to you when I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I just didn't answer the calls or text messages. That's all it
Yeah.
was. Like on
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, I just didn't answer the calls or text messages. I'm like,
People be getting like demanding and shit, and that's
no,
kind of
there's
what I noticed.
definitely
So I got to the point I
that's
was like, I gotta protect my own
yeah.
like energy,
When
cause
it
some of y'all be on some bullshit.
when it gets to like the demandingness
Yeah.
of it, that's where I'll set the line. Now, like I'll say specifically, it was this girl, and she was like the one I was talking about. She was calling me. She was something was going on,
Yeah.
and me and her actually really cool. I've already had a couple of appointments by her, or not by her, but I've had a couple of appointments with her, and she was going through some shit, and she just wanted to make sure she could get a hold of me because
Yeah.
she knows that my phone be blown up, and so in return, her thought process was, "Hey, I'm just gonna call her." She didn't
Yeah.
know if I was doing anything, so she didn't think about it. But she wasn't do like obviously she wasn't doing anything. She didn't think about it, so she's like, "Hey, I just need to make sure I can get a hold of you." Because she's trying to
Yeah.
be considerate, it
Yeah.
just did it in the wrong way, and like I declined her calls, and she's like, "Hey, are you mad you're not seeing any of my calls?" Like it was some shit, and I texted her back. I was like, "Listen," I was like, "I am seeing your calls." I was like, "But right now I'm with my family." I was, "I'm gonna answer it in a couple days when I get back in town, or I'm not even in town right now." Like
Yeah.
if I could just shut my phone off, I would type of shit. But like for me, I don't just shut my phone off because obviously I have people that call me when they need something. So,
Yeah.
but like it's just that you never know. It ties back in with everything we've been talking about with this shit. Like you really never know when it comes to people. Like she was
Yeah.
just her thought process. This it also shows like how different people's brains are. Like me,
Yeah.
it's like, oh hey, I'm at Thanksgiving. I'm not gonna answer your call. Her side of it was, I just want to make sure you can see my shit because I know your phone be blown up. So she was trying to be considerate.
Yeah.
Like I know there's some people like there's some people that are closed minded that they won't be able to like take a step back for a second. They're
Yeah.
like they're
Yeah.
quick
Yeah.
to react. So with them being quick to react, they'll just send a whole paragraph like, you know, it's Thanksgiving. You shouldn't be texting me. You have no consideration. But
Yeah.
like if you're able to like take a step back and like think about it because you really never know. But
Yeah.
like it really just takes work because I used to not be able to do that. Like I used to just get pissed about fucking everything, and now it's just like no, you like when you know you can like take a step back and like oh like hey maybe that's not what's going on.
Yeah.
Like that's how you know like you're getting over shit and you're working on it. Because I told you I used to not be able to do that. I used to not be able to.
Yeah.
So that's it's just been some crazy shit lately. I told you, like you can who would have known that like I started off tattooing and like a year later like it'll teach you a lot of things. It'll
Yeah.
teach you a lot of things about yourself. It'll teach you a lot of things about other people. It'll teach you about the world. Like and if I didn't do tattooing, like I wouldn't have been thinking about throwing an event for fucking cover up tattoos or for this or that or fucking
Yeah.
birthday parties. Like if I never would have started that, that would have never been a thought. None of this would have been a thought.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like that's why Envy Inks is on my face. Like this started a lot of like very important things for me,
Yeah.
very important things, and I'm like always forever grateful that I made that decision
Yeah. I don't know if I asked you on the first podcast or not. What's your favorite piece you've done?
on myself or like on
Nah,
anybody.
just on anybody.
On anybody. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll tell anybody this because I can't like it feels wrong to just claim a favorite piece.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I can't just claim
Yeah.
one. I can't claim one because like I get so excited
Yeah, yeah.
when I
You
get to
probably
do
got like
some
an attachment to
create.
some of them too.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
like I've done my nieces and nephews tattoos,
Oh,
or
yeah,
I've
that's
done
fire.
memorial tattoos,
Yeah.
or I've done name tattoos, or
Yeah.
I've done cover up tattoos. Like for me, there's I could fucking pick a category and be like, oh, well, I like this, and this one from this
Yeah.
category. Like I can't just have one favorite. I will say I absolutely, goodness, I love wording. Something
Okay,
about
yeah.
wording has always caught my eye. And like I used to suck at it. I'm not afraid to admit that. I used to suck at wording. And now wording's like one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
Do you remember that Sonder piece that I posted on Instagram? It was on the back of the leg. You couldn't really tell, but it was like it was zoomed in so you could see how clean it was. And it was
Yeah.
just plain black. Like that's what makes me happy because I can show my progress with that. Like I
Yeah.
used to hate wording. I used to suck at it. I used to send people like to other people
Yeah.
when they came with me with specific wordings because I was like, no, I can't do that. I know I can't. And my mind wasn't there for it.
Yeah.
Now I'm seeing some wording pieces. Like I had a guy contact me about this fat ass back piece.
Yeah.
He wants his last name on his back, and we're gonna do some crazy designs on it, but it's gonna be negative shading, but with like a design in the
Yeah.
shading on the outside. Some crazy ass shit. I have to draw it up, but like for me now, I get excited about that. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like I know how to do this. This is so fucking cool. It's gonna look good. Or like even like with Envy Inks, like I know I didn't do the Envy Inks, but for
Yeah.
me, I always love a good wording tattoo that's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
clean
Yeah.
as fuck. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Because
Yeah.
like you, like I said, I used to suck at it. So I know like firsthand experience, sometimes wording doesn't always come out good. And sometimes it's hard and sometimes it's fucking scary. But now it's like, now I don't think it's scary. Now I'm like, oh, you want to do that? All right, let's go. Like, do you want to go right now?
Yeah.
Like, I get excited about that. So definitely wording. I love wording. I love cartoons.
Yeah.
I love color, but like the type of color I want to get into, I like the
That's
trippy
fucking
color shit.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so right
yeah.
now, like that's something I want to do more research on. I
Yeah.
want to do more practice with. I don't want to put too much pressure on it because that's something like I truly enjoy is like trippy art.
Yeah.
And so for me, I don't want to put too much pressure on it right now. But
We
that's
talked about it
definitely,
off camera a bunch, but out of all
yeah.
the shit I seen from you, that cheetah is
Bro,
ridiculously hard.
that shit
I don't even know who that's on. I don't know nothing, but that shit goes
that's actually on
crazy.
my wig lady.
Yeah.
Shout out my wig lady. I'll send him your tag so that he can tag
For
you.
sure.
But shout out my
Yeah.
wig lady. We traded services.
That
I
tattoo is so
bro,
clean.
she traded me my first ever wig because I had chopped off my hair and like, you know, I was feeling it at first and then I wasn't feeling it, and then I got the wig and I was feeling the wig for a little bit, but now
Yeah.
I'm feeling the natural hair, so like we're just going with the natural hair. But we traded services, and so I got this wig from her, and then we did this cheetah. And so the first session, we broke it up into 2 sessions. The first day we did the outline of the whole cheetah, so like that big bold line on the outside, and then we did everything from the ears below, so the face and then the 2 front paws, and then I did the flower.
Yeah.
The second day we came back in, we did the butterflies, and then I touched up a little bit of the shading on the flower. I wanted to add more, but you know it's fresh, so I didn't want to add too much. I just added what it really needed to, and then we're still building off of that piece. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we got in the works. It's not like fully confirmed yet, but we've talked about it,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
finishing up her piece.
Send me a
But
picture when I leave here of it, cause
of the
I'll
piece.
yeah, I'll put it like, you know
Oh,
what I'm
I
saying? I'll
got you.
put it
I
right
got you.
here
I
or
got
some
you.
shit.
I got you.
Y'all can
I
see it
got
real
you
quick
for
to know what
sure.
we talking about. 'Cause
Yeah,
that piece goes
but
crazy.
the craziest thing about that piece was that was an artistic vision.
Yeah.
Because I told you we did everything from the ears below. So
Yeah.
when we came back in the second day, there was like it was a blank cheetah. It was like an outline
Yeah.
of a cheetah with no spots. And so I asked her, I was like, "Do you want me to stencil it or can I freestyle it?" She let me freestyle that shit.
Yeah.
And like
That shit looks
there's a
crazy.
couple parts that I used a little marker on, but like most of that shit was freestyle and
Yeah.
freehand. That was just a creative fucking brain just going in there like, no, I know what a cheetah looks like. I know what this piece needs to look like, and just coming up with some shit on the fly.
Yeah.
And I knew exactly what I wanted that piece to come out with, and it came out exactly how I wanted it to come out. Like that cheetah is badass.
Yeah.
Nobody could tell me differently. Like I'm sure there's always something I could do better, or something you could improve on, or something that someone says you could change, or they would do it this way. But at the end of the day, like every artist is different.
Yeah.
Every artist is going to see a different way that they could do it or whatever the case may be. But that's how I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Me and my client were both happy as fuck with it. Like, that's one of my favorite pieces because I'm like,
crazy.
oh, God, I freestyled them fucking spots.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, that shit, like, that shit can be hard because sometimes you, like, I've seen people fuck up cheetah spots.
Yeah,
I've seen people fuck up cheetah spots.
For sure.
So, like, the fact that, like, my brain just came up with that, I'm like, nah, fuck it, let's do it. And it was clean. I was like, for me, I surprised myself.
Contrast, too, between, like, the black lines of it and then the red. That shit just looks so nice.
Like, for me, that was definitely like, trust yourself.
Yeah,
trust yourself,
for sure.
Because I knew, like, I've always been that creative person.
Well, I'll say it on the podcast. I told you off camera, that tattoo, whoever you did that for, your wig lady, she inspired my fucking.
Oh God,
that shit changed up my right sleeve. Now I'm finna add color to it. Before I didn't want that.
He told me no color tattoos.
Yeah, I didn't want no color, and then I seen that and I was like, damn, all right, put a little red in there. That shit looked too cool.
Cheetah, and then what was the other one that you seen the red with? The butterfly with the flag.
Because
I used the same red on both of those girls.
Yeah.
I used the same red on both of them, and that's like one of my favorite reds to use while tattooing because it's so versatile, but it's beautiful on like any skin tone. That's like one of the main reds that I've seen that it's pretty on just about any fucking skin tone, and it feels so pretty too. And so, man, that shit's crazy. You take someone going no color, and then he sees you do color. He's like, okay, you can put a little bit in there.
Yeah, I gotta get a little bit now. I gotta switch it up.
I fuck with that shit though. Like, see, that for me is like, okay, I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
Because I changed your mind. I'm like, here, and I didn't even have to be like, here, let me show you. You just seen it on your own. And you're like, nah, we can change it. We can add in a little bit.
Yeah, for
sure. Like,
for
me, that's some respectful shit.
For sure.
I fuck with it.
I'm gonna make sure the podcast, whatever my audience is, they're gonna keep up with all my tattoos. I'm gonna make sure y'all see this shit on here.
Oh God, we're gonna do little mini update sessions.
Sure.
We'll do little mini update sessions, and then like I already told you, I wanted to do my own podcast with like my clients, and, like tattoo things.
Yeah, that's hard.
But it's not like when I do a podcast, I don't only want it to just be tattoo shit because I feel like when you're a tattoo artist, it's kind of a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, it's not for everybody. Like, I can tell you, I've worked some crazy ass fucking hours. I've worked overnight for clients. I've stayed up. There's been points where it's like, I've had a girl, she's like, hey, I go to work at 6 a.m. Can I come in at 4 so I can get this done before work? And I've stayed up with other clients, been tattooing till 4 a.m. So then I know I'm for sure up and ready for her to go at 4 fucking a.m.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things that come down to it. But it's a whole lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's a whole lifestyle. And you can either do too much and let it break you, or you can do too much and you can do great, or you can go at your own pace. Like, it's whatever you make it to be. That's the best thing about it. It's a lifestyle, but it's whatever you make it out to be. So whatever you choose for it is whatever you choose for it. I don't think I've met like two tattoo artists that like are the same.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, I haven't been like, oh, you remind me of this tattoo artist.
Yeah, for sure.
No, like every tattoo artist I've met is different, and they do things different, and they think about things different, and they tattoo different than you, and they have different ideas. That's why this shit is really, it's really what you make of it.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
It's really what you make of it.
Yeah.
So.
I think we're about to die on this, so we'll wrap it up. Hey. You got anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think they heard. Sure. I think they heard enough of my upcoming plans.
We're gonna have to do another one. I don't know how we're gonna do it yet. I don't know if you pull up to the studio, if we do it here, what the deal gonna be. But maybe when I get the sleeve or some shit, we got to do one while we tattooing.
See, but that's what I wanted on my podcast. Like, I didn't mind if we talked while we tattooed, because like some of my clients be funny as hell.
Yeah.
Like, just there's some of them that I want them on podcast just because our appointments are funny. I'm like, if we ever recorded this shit and people like seeing this appointment, they would be laughing their ass off.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
Definitely I'd fuck with that one. We've already done the music video shit too, so might as well do a podcast while tattooing.
31620
by
the Capital coming out soon.
Tap in. It's gonna be hard. The way y'all did that shit, the creativeness behind it, it's real tough. I'm so excited for it. So excited for it.
Shout out to Keontre for the camera work on that
shit.
Yeah.
Shout out Keontre.
But yeah, shit. I appreciate you for having me and doing this again.
I appreciate you letting me do it again. We always got some shit to say.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna get another one in for sure.
Always. I'll be on here multiple times. At this, we'll get to a point where I don't even need to introduce myself anymore.
For sure. Shit, I appreciate y'all for watching.
Sir.
I'm gonna make sure I link all your stuff below so everybody can find you.
Got you.
Yeah, that's another episode.
Thank y'all.
Yeah.